Alright guys, welcome. Just got to the location. Of course, they're about to open, so I can get in there. A little suspicious that the parking lot is empty. So hopefully I have nothing else going on. Anyway, this was diagnosed yesterday by another tech. So I had to come and finish it because I had to go out of town. So we're working on a Manitowoc ice machine. And of course I cannot get the part, or they could not. So they sent me to get a water valve. This is going to be a Robert Shaw. I think this is the inlet water valve. Of course, Robert Shaw is also Paragon, Ranco, Uniline. That's why I don't really care too much about the brands. They're all kind of the same. So I need to put this in, and we'll see what happened, because what they had told me was that basically a wire rubbed out, there was a short, and it made a hole in the copper line. So I think we're gonna have to do a patch, or we'll see where it is. Hopefully it's not hard. So we need to patch it up, repair the copper, charge it up and everything, and then get the water valve replaced. All right, make sure there's no power. Now this looks like a condenser fan motor. This is a remote unit, so let's go on the roof and check the condenser. So yeah guys, we're empty. I need to verify that everything's open and make sure that it's empty on both sides. Alright guys, as suspected, I wasn't sure. Like I said, I wasn't the one here, but that looked like a fan motor cap, so probably had a cap bandit here because assuming it was just dangling out here. And you can see where it hit on the copper, so it looks all pitted and stuff. Let me clean that up, and then we'll pressure test it just to make sure, and we'll check how much, if any, is left. They said it leaked out. That's right on the headmaster right there, so you can see right there it's a little rough. We're gonna see if that's a leak. I mean, you can kind of see the oil stain over here, but this, guys, is a headmaster bypass head pressure control valve, whatever you want to call it. Basically bypasses the condenser coil, and they either have a fan cycle control, which would turn off the fan to keep the condenser hot enough during the cold weather, or it has one of these where it just completely does not even go through the coil, the condenser, so that it doesn't reject any heat, because in the cold weather everything's colder, and you don't have enough pressure going through your TXV or whatever metering device you have. So, you know, that's what that is. That way you have enough pressure going down through the TXV that it can pass, and then that drop, you know, that so that it can flash properly, because that drastic drop in pressure from high to low is essentially what gives you that cooling effect down in the evaporator. So let's pressure test it real quick. I got everything set up. Let's see what happens. Should be there. All right, so it is right there on the deepest little hole that it has. Got this at my local Dollar Tree. It holds Big Blue. That's what's in here right now. Damn wind. So yeah, you can see it's a straight shot out pinhole leak. So now let's get it flowing on braze, and then we'll start. I don't anticipate this being hard, so I'm just gonna cut up anything holding wires so I can get them out of the way. All right. So no wires in the way. I'm gonna cover that up with a literal wet rag. Make sure I don't burn anything up, because turbo torch gives off a lot of heat. I don't even have a good piece of brazing rod. I guess I had used it all. I have some more in my van, but I put it down. So then the setup here is going to be purging on this side and then venting out on this side so no pressure builds up. That's the easiest thing. And let's go. camera cut off a little bit, but there's the joint. Not pretty. We just covered this to make sure we didn't damage anything over here, and we're good to go. Alright, let's just make sure we don't get any micro bubbles or anything crazy. For now, it's good. Got it on some high pressure there. Let's see if I can bump it up actually. Let it sit there for a little bit. Let me go get another cap, and then we'll clean this up so that this doesn't happen again. So as far as 7.5, this is all I had. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna strap it down. We're gonna repair these wires. Make sure you give them the old pull test. Good to go. Okay, so now this goes all here. We're just gonna tidy it up really good. Make sure everything is secure. I don't see any issues here. I don't have any more long ones. I don't have any issues here with the way this is looking. I might add another zip tie there, and I will zip tie these on this side as well. So yeah, there. I'm not gonna go crazy with it. I would love to mount this somewhere else, but right now I don't have any strap to do that. But at that point, it's gonna get a little complicated there. This is the easiest, quickest way. This should work fine. It shouldn't move anywhere. I'll probably put an extra zip tie there just in case, and run it. Make sure that's snug. So let's start cleaning up. All right, so I'm getting the pump ready. Now, some of you guys have been concerned at how I store this or how I use this. Now, believe me, I'm trying really hard to change this out more often. And so right now I filled this one up. This is a spare. I'm gonna move it over. You know, over here I need to cap it. And then I'm gonna have this one here. And I'm gonna fill this up to make sure it's maxed out and we're leveled. I need to level it. And then when I'm done with it, I'll show you later, I'm gonna empty it out and then store this one so that nothing's open to atmosphere or anything like that. The oil doesn't get contaminated and we have fresh oil every time. Like I said, I'll try and change it out more often, especially on this kind of vacuum pump. But I understand. I know some of you guys are concerned. All right, looks like we might not have to run our cheater cord. We have this new unit with a fresh outlet. All right, I just gotta grab an extension cord that'll reach. We are a few feet away. All right, so we got our Appion. These are brand new to me, so I'm trying them out. I think I've used them once. So we're gonna hook up there. We got our big hoses, no manifold. Today, hooked up straight to the pump. This should be easy. I'm gonna make sure that we're good downstairs. This is an ice machine, so you're gonna have a lot of solenoid valves and all that, so just vacuum to the best of your ability. This is basically where I was working at, so like I said, I'll go down and make sure everything's good there. Alright, I had an issue with this thing turning off, and I was like, I need to figure out the auto off function, so I'm gonna have it set to maybe, you know what, just disable it, right? So if we hold down the menu button, the middle one says menu, and then the one that says next, you can go through units, alarms, high, low. I think right now I have everything muted. So the first one's the Wi-Fi, and then the auto off. I turned that off completely. So let's see how I can get back. Not saved, okay. So yeah, disabled that because it turns off really quick. I think it's like 5 minutes. And if I walk away from it, it starts like again pulling down. It's not gonna show me what I was at last. So that way it doesn't shut off on me. Forgot to leave my rope down there. I prefer to use a huge carabiner on the end, but that's what the open hook's for. We're gonna fish down or fish up our refrigerant tank real quick. Takes a little skill and patience, but we got it. All right, guys, so I try to record as much as I can, but we got our micron stayed at about 500-ish. It rose a little bit, but this is an old system. I'm not too worried about it. So as long as we're in the 500 range, went ahead and charged first our liquid in. Once I got a positive pressure on both sides, you can tell that the microns go away. You can close that off, or it should be closed off anyway. You can remove it if you have a port like that has a straighter. So remove this after there's positive pressure, and then you're gonna put your core back in. So I did that on that side because then we're gonna finish charging on this side, the suction. And I'm gonna put as much as I can. I put about half, and then I went downstairs to make sure nothing crazy was going on, nothing popped, nothing else was leaking or anything. So I put half. We're gonna put the other half in right now, or as much as I can. Finish charging on the low side, and then start it up. All right, so now that we're done, let me empty this out. And then we're gonna store that tank somewhere in the van to minimize having any exposed oil or anything. Of course, I cap them, so I don't know, maybe I'm good. I cap it here and I cap it here because normally this is open. But if I'm, if you're worried about it being exposed, that's closed off right there. If you get a garden hose plug, that's all that is, because you can connect the garden hose here. So if you just get a plug that works with that, or the garden hose, you can do that. That way it's basically sealed. All right, so it turned on. I know I called this a suction, but they're basically both high set up here. So we're not just gonna finish charging up here. We do need about 40 ounces, so we're gonna do that down at the actual suction port, and then finish it from downstairs. But it's running good for now. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but that's my vacuum setup. So all the hoses, extension cords, core removers, extra taps connections, different things that I need. Everything just snaps into place. So yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen my van tour, but everything's put away. Turbo torch is held by magnets, and my van is still accessible and decent. Not to worry about anything when everything has a spot. Alright guys, so fairly simple, I think. Straightforward. I didn't have to do the diagnosing. I just came in and kind of did what our previous tech came out and found. I went and verified, repaired, all that. So made sure that it dropped at least 3 batches, because you never know, it could lock out after making ice successfully. It could act up or something like that. So it worked. I had 3 batches. I went ahead and wiped down whatever I could. They desperately need some maintenance. They're not as bad as some of the other ones I've seen, but they haven't had maintenance in a very long time. Trying to get them to do maintenance on the roof, all the rooftop units too, so we'll see how that goes. But for now, just doing a patch, repair, get them back going. They've been without ice, and they really needed it back online. So we got it going. It's working. It's all good. So I think that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Yeah, if you have any questions, like always, just let me know in the comments. I am gonna actually take a quick lunch, and then I gotta go do some maintenance. I gotta go meet up with my brother, do some indoor maintenance. It's gonna be boring, so I'm not gonna take you guys along for that one. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you guys. So yeah, look what we got in town. So here's my lunch, then I'm gonna go do maintenance.